Hey, thank you for joining Uncle Mike for this edition of the Dow Directions, a technical analysis of the Dow. Well, let's start out with a trend line I drew quite a while back. This goes back to September, beginning of September. You can see that we really needed to hold it. We breached it yesterday. We opened up a little bit below, but closed just above the trend line, which is a good sign. We held the 20-day EMA, but we reached the 50 and the 50 EMA and the T8, which were below. So we really need to get above that tomorrow and hold for the rest of the week. If we do that, then one can be not certain, but hopeful that a short-term bottom has been put in and that we can consolidate and go further to the upside. Expect some sort of retracement, but as you can see with this trend line, it's going to get lower and lower, so hopefully we can stay above that. The chart pattern or candlestick pattern today is not a very enticing one with the long wick to the top. That's price rejection to the downside, so we'll have to watch tomorrow to see what happens with prices based upon that. Let's take a look at, oh, let's look at trend line analysis on the shorter term, see if anything has moved. Nothing there. Let's look at support and resistance. The support and resistance is still at the same level we've been looking at. It broke the downside support level of 82.15 35 days ago, which is still a bearish sign, so we need to get above that 82.15. And on a support and resistance for a longer term basis, it broke 83.13 43 days ago. So the 82.83 area is where we need to get above for some support and resistance to break the resistance line to the top. Well, let's look at our Chande chart checkup. The overall price bias is still downwards at this point. Short-term prices are stalling and intermediate-term prices are ranging. The projected upper bound is 81.20. The lower bound 7,057. Rex Tagasuji profile. The Dow was up 68.97 points today. Volume was 20% below average, and Bollinger Bands are now 34% wider than normal. The technical outlook in the short term is neutral, intermediate term is bullish, and long term is bearish. The Dow is currently 19.5% below its 200 period moving average, which is here, and that now is in an uptrend. Volatility is relatively normal compared to the last 10 periods. The trend forecasting oscillators are currently bullish and have been this way for the past 8 periods. So that's our quick review. Just watch out for tomorrow. We really need to hold these levels and or hopefully close higher tomorrow. We don't want to breach too much further down. Worst case, this low of 72.78 would want to hold. It would be a negative sign because at that point we're below the 50, the T8, the 20 period moving average, and at that point the T8 and 20 would be starting to turn to the downside again. So let's just hope for the best that we can consolidate and stay above these areas. Thanks for joining Uncle Mike, and I will see you tomorrow evening with another update.